This is a video for 3rd grade for April 19th. So the first question that we're going to look at is where we're looking for equivalent fractions. And they're shown 1/3, and we're looking for something that is equivalent to 1/3, and that would be 2/6. The next one is a fast fact where we've got 80 times 9. And of course, anytime we're looking for a fast fact times 10, what I tell them to do is digit times digit, which was 72 in this case, and then bring that 0 down. The next one was an addition problem, followed by a subtraction problem. Please just make sure that you're working with the subtraction, borrowing, regrouping, that type of problems with your student. Number 9. Number 9 is where we're talking about arrays, and they were given the problem 7 times 2. And what I've told them, and the reason why this is here, is that the first number will come down, the second number will go across. So that's the reason why we drew that here. We did 7 down, 2 across to show this array matches the 7 times 2. On number 12, we see that it is a time problem. This particular problem stated that they got on the bus at 3:05. They rode it for 48 minutes. And then they asked what time would it be when you got off the bus. So what I did on this particular one, normally I put the 15, 3:15, 3:25, 3:35, 45, and 53 underneath this. What I did here is I did the 10, 10, 10, and 8 to show them that we were getting our 48 right here. So we counted up 10 minutes from the 05 to show the 3:15 and then the 25. We did that over here to the side. I tried it a little different to see if that helped them. Some example that you could use, maybe 2:05 and 46 minutes. Have them practice that. We have a cube and acing on number 15. The question was, how many groups are there? It was 32 students needed to go into 4 groups. The important parts that we're looking at here is that we were looking at groups, that was our important word, and that we already had a total. So what we looked at is that groups would mean divide or multiply. And since we had our total, we knew we were going to divide. So we divided 32 divided by 4. And our answer statement was there are 8 groups. Next page. We have another cube and acing problem. This particular one states that how many liters of lemonade did they have altogether? We also had in our question the word each. So with the word each, they are pretty good at that they know that means multiply or divide. And we were looking for the total. And if we're looking for the total, we know we need to multiply. So 10 jugs, 3 liters, multiplying gives us 10 times 3, which gave us our 30 liters. We're rounding on this one, rounding to the nearest 100. The next one down here, number 13, is a division problem. And what I've shown them here is that the problem was 30 divided by 6. And I've shown them that they could say 6 times what equals 30. And so when they figure that out as 6 times 5, that would be the answer to 30 divided by 6. Because sometimes the division can kind of hang them up a little bit. And if they'll switch it into multiplication, it makes it a little easier. This next question was 40 equals blank groups of 8. And they have a picture there. So they're just asking them to figure out how many groups of 8, or whenever the question is going to be a different number and a different groups of a certain amount. So they're just asked to figure out how many groups. This question was a little tricky. They used several different numbers on this one. So this one, it said how many did, I think the name was actually Jana on this one, did she have left? So it started out with 56 pieces, and I'm thinking it was of a puzzle. It said she had 2 brothers, and that's where it kind of threw them for a loop. 56 pieces, 2 brothers. The older brother got 19 pieces. The younger brother got 26 pieces. So by adding that 2 brothers in there, they were thinking that they had to use that. And what I tried to explain to them was that they were just saying that they had 2 brothers, and here are those 2 brothers. The 19 pieces went to the older, 26 went to the younger. If you want to practice this one, maybe try using, I don't know, 49 pieces, 16 for the older, maybe 15 for the younger. What you're going to do is you've got to get a total of how many pieces were given to the brothers. So you would add those pieces together, just like I've shown here, what I did with the original. 19 plus 26 gave us a 45 were given to the brothers. And we had a total of 56. So we subtracted the given and we were left with 11. So you would do the same thing here. You'll get a total and then subtract that from you'll get a total given and subtract it from the original total amount of pieces. So that's an example that you could practice with. There were no questions on lesson 91. However, I do see a bonus here. So if they will tell me that perimeter is the distance around an area equals the space inside the shape, they can get some extra points. Last page, we have a fraction one, and all they were asked to do was, on this particular one, the question was 1/6, and they were asked to shade that particular fraction. Of course, the fraction may be different, so they will be asked to shade that certain fraction. This one, they were asked to find the perimeter of a certain shape. And of course, if they know the perimeter is the distance around, that would mean that they would add up all the sides. And this one, the particular sides were 5, 5, and 3. So that gave us a perimeter of 13 centimeters. On the last question, we were looking at this particular question. This is the associative property, meaning that the grouping is not going to change your answer. We have the parentheses 2 times 5 and then times 3. So we see that the 2 times 5 gives us a product of 10, and then we multiply it times 3, which gives us 30. Because of that associative property, it really doesn't matter which grouping you use, you would still get the same product. But what they wanted them to do was to answer the parentheses first and then multiply the rest of the problem. So what they will do is multiply parentheses first and then finish the problem with the rest of the multiplication. So that's something that you could even give them some simple multiplication, set it up as with 2 numbers inside the parentheses and then give them 1 outside of the parentheses, and they could practice doing that. Easy as that. Okay, I hope you guys have a good evening, and I will see your child in the morning.